Every February, we recognize American Heart Month, a time to reflect on knowing what to do in a crisis. Last fall, a Fairport Harbor family learned that lesson in a most unexpected way. Tonight, Lindsay Buckingham shares their incredible story of survival and why being in the right place with the right people at the right time was the difference between life and death.
It was supposed to be the happiest weekend of Kyle and Alexandra O'Donnell's lives.
We had 243 people coming. The standard rehearsal dinner Friday night, big wedding, and then reception Saturday.
At the rehearsal dinner in Little Italy,
I said a few words just real briefly, thanking everybody for all, putting up with all the group chats and the craziness of being in a wedding.
His father, Jack, gave a welcome toast.
To the happy couple, cheers, we love you both.
Then suddenly,
my dad had one sip of wine and then he was unresponsive.
What happened next would depend entirely on who was in that room.
Good friend of ours, it's a cardiac nurse.
Right place, right time.
He came over and took my dad's pulse and he said, I don't feel any pulse.
On a day when father and son should have been celebrating side by side.
We moved him to the floor and we just started our compressions and rescue breaths.
Kyle and his brother Connor worked on their dad for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, the situation was very dire.
Before Jack was rushed to university hospitals, still with no pulse.
And we had to resuscitate him to get him in a stable condition.
Jack made it through. Dr. Mehdi Shishabor, president of UH Harrington Heart and Vascular Institute, was quick to point out why.
We sometimes like to take credit. The credit really goes to his kids.
Something Jack learned when he woke up.
There was a male nurse in the ICU, and he said, I have to tell you, your son saved your life.
That night, Kyle and Alexandra faced an impossible decision.
I think at like 1:30 in the morning, I kind of broke down and we were just kind of sitting there crying because we didn't know what to do.
About their wedding they'd been planning for months.
Allie's mom put it into perspective. She said, listen, it's not about you anymore. It happened where it happened and when it happened because he needed the people around him.
Right place, right time. Though their wedding reception would have to wait.
This is what we have to do in marriage anyways. We're living our vows before we've even made them.
Yet they did get to make them the very next morning.
We did go ahead and get married in the church.
The private ceremony live streamed right to Jack's hospital room.
I felt like I was actually there.
Still in their wedding clothes, there was only one place the new couple wanted to be.
I don't even think it was ever said out loud, we have no choice, we're gonna go.
Alexandra gave their first dance music to a nurse at UH.
When they opened the curtain, it was already playing. And it was beautiful. It was so emotional because obviously we've not done our first dance.
My mom was sobbing, of course.
Jack was released 3 weeks later, the gift of a second chance, because on the night it mattered most, he was surrounded by exactly the right people at the right time.
In the end, we are so incredibly lucky. It's a miracle. We never take that for granted.
It's kind of life's way of showing us, hey, whatever is going to come in the future, you guys are going to handle it.
Lindsay Buckingham.
To think I was that close, I'm pretty fortunate.
3 News.
Well, Kyle and Alexandra's long-awaited reception is next weekend, and this time, Jack will be right there to celebrate with them.
Wow, so much to celebrate too.
Oh my goodness.
Breath of fresh air. I'm sure everybody's gonna be like, okay, what's going on?
You okay? How you feeling? Oh my goodness.
He's doing great, but talk about being in the right place at the right time. I do want to mention both of Jack's sons are police officers. So the training came into play as well.
Sure, they knew how to handle that emergency situation.
They sure
And
did.
having a cardiac nurse there, I mean, what are the chances? It was one of those things that worked out perfectly well. I know in the moment it was probably, oh, we don't want to cancel this, but I love how the family just, of course, we're pivoting. Right now it's about dad.
Yeah, and Alexandra's mom said that perfectly. We were chatting during the story. I think they knew it wasn't about them anymore, but I'm so happy for all of them that they get to come together and celebrate so much.
What a wedding story.
Quite the wedding story. Love those stories. You can also share your own heartstring stories with our team. Just email heartstrings@wkyc.com. And don't forget, if you'd like to see more stories like these, you can catch Heartstrings every weekday at 10 a.m. right here on our WKYC Plus app.
Awesome job. Thanks, Lindsay.
That was great.
Guys.
Thank you.